Okay, so yet another unboxing. Feels like I'm doing like one a day at the moment. Of this pair, which despite what the box says is not a pair of New Balance, it's a used pair that I've bought. As I was taking it in the house, the tape somehow ripped. So the box is actually already open, so I don't even need my knife. But yeah, they're not New Balances. Guys, just use the New Balance box. So I will get rid of said New Balance box. And you can already see what brand we're looking at here. And you can also probably tell this is the slightly older Asics box. I guess it doesn't really narrow it down. But I'm going to flip the box and show you the sizing label. So again, 12, which is generally like my Nike true to size. But I generally, for the most part, get my gel Lyte 3s in a 12 as well. I have one pair of 12.5, and then I think everything else I have is in the 12, and they'll fit good. So I like my shoes nice and snug, so they fit. So any aficionado, once you see grey and salmon, you'll know what this pair is. So I will faff around no longer. This is a pair that I've ticked off of my grail list. I said, actually, before I open it, I said at the beginning of the year, Chicago Jordan 1s, purple tape, the Raycon N9000s, the Flamingos, and the orange Kois, like the pairs that I really want. That's like top of my list. I have to get as many of them, well, I don't have to, but I want to get as many of them as possible. And we're in May, we're in like nearly mid-May, and I have ticked one of those off. I was $30 away from a deal on the orange Kois, and my stubbornness got the best of me, so I didn't pull the trigger on them. But we live and learn, whatever. I'm sure another pair will come up soon. But okay, onto this pair. So you see them here in all their glory. So this was a pair that I've bought of who I've been speaking to on IG, and this is the Ronnie Fieg Flamingo gel Lyte 3. As you can see here from the colorway, we have like the flamingo pink, hence the name. So for me, this pair is, I would say this is like an 8.5 out of 10 maybe. You can see like some marks of wear. I do think like, and I pop some like trees into them for a couple of days, just kind of get that like shape back. Maybe I'll kind of go over them with a suede brush, a suede rubber even. There's probably a little bit of cleaning on the midsole cup that I can do. But generally, for the most part, I'm pretty happy with this condition. I'm just going to close the lid. And I'm pretty happy with this condition, especially given that it's like a slightly older shoe. I want to say they're nearly 10 years old now. But yeah, I think like one of the things you can hear, just given the light, I'll just give it a kind of twist around here. One of the things you can see here with the light is just like how the pink pops against that kind of brown, tannish brown color. It's really nice. And like typically with the Ronnie Fieg Asics, the mesh is just beautiful. It's really good. And then we have the ropes in. The only thing I didn't get with this pair was the flat grays. So they do come with the peach or the pink, the flamingo pink laces. And I'm gonna wear both of these at some point. I probably would never have worn the gray. So like of the 3 laces that did come with them, that was probably my least favorite of the 3. So I kind of wasn't too annoyed about that. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna do as I kind of have started doing with these videos. I'm gonna make some comparisons, and not really for any reason other than just like to show what these look like. I guess like alongside some of what you could call their counterparts in like other Ronnie Fieg and Kith pairs, really. So I'm gonna start with some of the older pairs. I've got 5 here. I'm gonna start with an older pair. And we'll kind of get, I think, probably get newer as we go along. Yeah, as I say, for no real reason, other than like, what do they look like next to their buddies, next to like the pairs that you could kind of compare them to from like a, like if you were a collector and you were saying like, what's the best pairs you could possibly get? This is them next to the Miamis, or the Dolphins. I think this is probably my favorite Gel Lyte 3 that I own. They're just beautiful. Like also the quality. I got these were also used, but they were like a 9.5 out of 10 when I bought them. They were like damn near perfect. I just think these are more difficult to come by. So yeah, there you kind of have them side by side, and you can see the way that I think Ronnie is like generally used the tiger stripes as that real kind of pop of color. I think the Flamingo is definitely a lot more like daily wearable. The only thing about these is just like, you know, you can't, I don't think you can wear that kind of, I don't know how you call it, kind of tealy green with every color. I generally tend to pair them with like gray shorts because it's easy. And yeah, it's just not the kind of color that can kind of go with everything. So, so yeah, so we have those. Next pair I'm going to compare with, and I actually ended up getting these New York Knicks and the Miamis. I'd been looking for both of them for ages and managed to find both of them like inside of maybe a month. So yeah, you have these are the the New York Knicks, so all kind of the Knicks blue, and then with the slightly different color blockings. I guess the Miamis are basically the same block as this, and then these are like split, bottom half of the mudguard, as you would say, and then the upper in the blue. But again, as you can see with my gel lights, I really like rope lacing. It's not something I'm huge with all pairs, but I think like there are some shoes that it just looks better with. Like typically 350 V2s always come with rope laces. They look pretty cool with that. And I think Gel Lyte 3s, maybe even Gel Lyte 5s are kind of like the other pair that I would say that goes for as well. So that's the East Coast pack, both pairs from the ECP. I want to say it was 2013. This is slightly newer. So again, Ronnie Feig, they were both Kith pairs. I guess it's like one of them is a collab with the store, one of them is a collab with the guy. It's not really a huge amount of difference, realistically. But these are the Volcano 2.0. So a bunch of spare laces came with these. To have a kind of comparable view, I guess you'd pop these in, because these are like the red version of that. But we won't for a second here. I'll just put them down. Again, similar-ish block. Ronnie generally tends to kind of play with different bits of the materials as well as the color blocking. And here you have like this is a suede all the way up to the kind of lace collar, or someone once told me this is meant to represent like a dragon's tongue, piece of like Japanese folklore or something. I may be wrong, but that's what I've been told. And then this pair is actually more of a, it's kind of stretchy. It's definitely not suede. The suede differences, they feel pretty similar. There you go. There's an area here where some cleaning can be done, so I can show you what that looks like once I've used the suede rubber. But yeah, another kind of huge pair for most Gel Lyte 3 collectors. And the Gel Lyte 5 is actually probably more famous of a colorway when it comes to this Volcano color. But for me, I've got the 3. I don't need the 5. And then just like the two newer pairs. So I have 2 of the 3 pairs from the Tokyo Trio. I'll show both of them alongside. These are now kind of starting to become very different to the Flamingos. Very, very dark pair. It's the only dark pair of probably of runners that I have actually. My only gripe with this is like the black midsole. I think it would look so much better with the white midsole, but I can harp on about that for until the cows come home. But the material on here is really good. Kind of looks a little bit ashy or dusty in certain lights, but in real life looks really good. Has that kind of almost like salmon toe type block to them. But yeah, that's a kind of comparison of those alongside each other. And then the final one, I think, is my favorite new pair of threes. I really like these, and I did want to have a quick comparison of the pink or the peach on the two. You know, obviously these two pairs both have pink tiger stripes. Clear to me that this is much darker of a color. I'm just going to bring these around so they get some of the lighting. Yeah, much kind of richer, darker pink here. Whereas this, as we said, is more of a kind of peachy pink, and definitely pops a lot more. But this being a white shoe, you know, it's generally, for me, it means that it's much more of a kind of all year round, much easier to wear. Like, you just cannot go wrong with white shoes. Just like, I guess, pretty much universally the easiest color to wear. If you're someone like me who doesn't really care about getting dirt on them because they can always be cleaned, then it's all good. So yeah, that's pretty much the review, to be honest. There's like it's the kind of shoe that really just talks for itself, and there's not like a huge amount of like hidden detail or anything. It's all really in the colorway. So yeah, that is the Running Flag Flamingo Gel Lyte 3, a grail ticked off the list.